Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to go through our round 4 preview for NRL Fantasy in the 2024 season. So, big week this week, obviously a lot of outs, and as you can see from my team, we are currently missing quite a few. So if we just do a couple of quick swaps just to see where we're at. So I'll bring Haas in. Cleary's out, Galvin in. And then I guess you can see we don't even have any wing fullback cover. So this is the clear and obvious issue. I'll just swing these guys up. So at the moment we've got 15, partially through fault of our own, having 3 Storm players. It is a recipe for disaster. We were sort of anticipating to spend 2 trades. What we weren't anticipating is so many of these other players to be missing, which isn't ideal, but it does happen from time to time, and I'm sure other teams have it worse. So obviously we're focusing in this space, and Tuapicky's definitely out. You know, that's fine. And I guess my number one sort of target for the back line is Jake and Kraz. That's fine. Let's lock that in. So we've now got 115k to spend on upgrading to another wing or fullback option. So I'll just get rid of the name. So if we have a look at the wing fullbacks, so it is all going to depend on price. You know, if we were to go with Joe Chan, actually I forgot to change it to players I can afford. You know, not that we're that keen on trading out Joe Chan, but if we were, you know, the best options that are playing this week in terms of value anyway, more average as well, I guess, is what it is actually based on. Jesse Arthurs, Xavier Savage, Seb Chris, and I mean, you know, none of them are the most exciting. I think maybe, you know, Seb Chris makes the most sense, given that he's dual position. He has only played 1 game, so there's not a big sample size to go off. But he has, you know, proven in the past that he can score okay. But, you know, not the most exciting pick by any stretch. You know, after that, we're getting real speculative with some of the wingers. Tom Jenkins has fallen a fair way already, 25k down. Warbrick, 56k down. You know, these guys are all quite dependent on tries. Dane Laurie's an absolute no-go with that junk roll on the bench, averaging 2. And then after that, I don't think there's even anyone playing. Atkinson coming off the bench isn't great. James Schiller, you know, what's his job security like? You know, Albert Hopewadi probably only misses this week. And that's really about it. So, you know, I think we have to go a bit further afield than Joe Chan. You know, I guess the next sort of step is Pierre Cora. And I guess there is a couple more options, like a Dane Mariner's done okay so far. Katoa, you know, not the most exciting. Blake Wilson, I'm a big fan of. But I guess I've already got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 Bulldogs. That's probably too many as it is. And then, yeah, you know, we're into Arthur's, Tupou. And I guess all these other guys that are now appearing, like Swaliti, they're more expensive but are averaging the same as these cheaper options. So, you know, none of them are that interesting. The one that I would be willing to have a crack on is Jaden Campbell. So, obviously, the Gold Coast Titans aren't in great form, but, you know, they've moved AJ Brimson for the purpose of getting this guy into their team. And he's definitely not going to fix their defensive stuff, but definitely in terms of attack, just offers that extra little dimension. So, I mean, we could do that, and that would work. We've got 17k in the bank. and we've got a player that's going to play. The other option, I suppose, is to go with the crowd and get out of Cleary, with the theory being that we've got players like Galvin, Flanagan, you know, still got Cleese Haas is going to have to go soon. So we might have enough value in the team to sort of get Cleary back in and, keep making money as we go. So in that case, this opens it right up. So we could go with, James Tedesco averaging 63. Um, he's already gone up 75k in value, but probably still has room for more. Um, we can look at like a Tommy Turbo is always up and about. So, that's a 70k discount for Travojevic, who on his day can score as much or more than anyone in the game. Uh, so even like maybe Ponga's fallen a fair way, so he's down to 690. So I think I probably still prefer Turbo. We could look at a dual position like a Zach Lomax as being quite good, or Ruben Garrick. Obviously, that would provide a bit more flexibility. The Hammers playing the Titans this week. That could be quite lucrative. I know he's not the biggest gun when it comes to NRL fantasy, but he's off to a good start, which is nice, and is a bit cheaper too, so he could potentially be flipped in a couple of weeks. And then like RTS playing fullback this week. He's got the dual position. Something like that's quite tempting. Taylor May, if he starts to kick and move in the right direction, we'll be cheering. So just trying to work out that. So it must be total and then this week. So yeah, he's on the slide. It's his break even. If we go to break evens, Taylor 53. So could even sort of sit back a week or two on him. Just gone the wrong way there. Uh, yeah, so then after that, we're starting to get into the guys we've already seen. So it suggests that probably the value is all up this way. So what do we do? I guess with Cleary, it could be sooner rather than later that he comes back. So not super keen on trading him out. I'm thinking Piakura is probably the more expendable of the two. And based on that, I think I'm going to have to go with Jaden Campbell, even though I know I said in the Tops, Chops, Traps, and Slabs video that he is a potential trap. We wanted to have a look at him first, but I can't seem to find him now. There he is. He slid all the way to the bottom. So if we lock that in, so that gives us a team this week that will look something like this. So Joey Lussick in the hooker against against the Tigers, playing for the Eels. Um, I think the Tigers they looked awesome on Saturday night, but could be more of a case of the Sharks made them look good. They were quite poor. So Murray, Tupanua, Cotter in the middle. Although the Bulldogs do play quite early, so we might do a couple little swapsies. Um, get Curran on field, get Salmon on field. Yeah, Cotter, just slide him up. Probably doesn't really matter because we've only got 17. So even if one of these are laid out, like I know Cotter was under an injury cloud, Murray had an issue at training. Yeah, they sort Cleese Haas, David Fafita's in the extended bench. We're really stuck. We have to go with this 17. So probably fiddling around the edges isn't much use. Um, yeah, I mean, the back line can't really change that. I guess could potentially swap Galvin with Flanagan, play slightly earlier. But I guess captaincy this week, we're going to back Hines to bounce back. So captain, And I think the obvious vice captain then is going to be Cam Murray. Against Bulldogs, even when the Souths have been bad, Cam Murray's been pretty good every week. Um, I guess he's not the one that's putting the points on the board though, or the one that's leaking tries on the edges. He's doing his job through the middle. Some of the other boys need to lift. So I think that's the team for this week. If we have a little preview of the matchup this week. So Helen Keller's optometrist, who I'm pretty sure is top of the table at the moment. If I go back a week, it doesn't tell me anything. Is that one? Yep, so sitting first with an 868 last week, so tough ask. But won't have Harry Grant this week, so what are the reserve options like? Got Danny Levi, so yeah, I think Lassie can outpoint him. Very similar middle, although Terrell May rather probably would prefer over Tupanua. Piakura's out, so what's he got on the bench again? Not much on the edge. That's interesting. Only Joe Chan. Any other middles? Sam Hughes. So I guess, yeah, could flip Salmon to the edge or might be looking to bring an edge in. So Cleary and Hines. So without Cleary, obviously Hutchinson's an option. Ethan Strange. Yeah, they're the choices on the bench. Oh, Galvin as well, but we've got Galvin. So, okay, doing okay there. Jacob Carraz we've got covered. So we don't have Ponga or Rapana. So this could be the sort of difference maker. Ponga and Rapana against Campbell and Bostock. I know we're backing Bostock in to do well against um, the Titans. I couldn't remember there for a second. But yeah, hopefully Campbell returns serve against the Dolphins. And then, we've got Ruben Cotter on the bench, which seems to be a nice little bit of depth for us. So, yeah, so I guess maybe just spending more on the wing fullback is the difference there between our teams. I've got a little bit more money maybe in the middles. And yeah, very good. Cool. So it should be a close one either way. It'll be very exciting. And I guess if I'm scoring as well as Adam's team, then I'll be happy. So yeah, that's the preview for this week. Obviously, if you've got any questions or comments or thoughts, feel free to get them below this video. Obviously, if you like the NRL fantasy content, give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel for all the fantasy sports content. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.